Today on the channel, it's return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, and today we're getting real niche with the Top 5 Triple H suited figures of all time.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on the channel, as each and every Thursday we're doing a Top 5 and occasionally a Top 10 countdown. In today's video, we got a sharp-dressed man. We got Triple H Top 5 suited figures of all time, and of course, as usual, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. Start at number 5. Work your way to number 1, number 1 being your favorite Triple H suited figure of all time. And we're getting real niche, Todd McFarlane, niche. Todd McFarlane from the couch, ladies and gentlemen. But we're really dialing in here. Of course, Triple H had a lot of figures, has a lot of figures, has figures still coming and going. We just recently unboxed the Awesome Truth set from Walmart, which got me thinking of this one with Triple H in a suit. And we got him in suited figures all the way back to the Jakks Titantron days, if you can believe it or not there. Spoiler alert, you won't see any Titantrons on this top 5 countdown. But he's had a lot of good suited figures over the year, and some bad ones as well. But a very interesting character, one Triple H. Of course, going to his wrestling days and all of his different wrestling gears, from DX to the Hunter Hearst Helmsley days. But it's interesting that a whole generation now knows him as the bald guy with the beard and a suit, which just blows my mind. But time, what is it? I don't know. And future generations, they're going to know Triple H like we knew Gorilla Monsoon as little kids. Like, he's an announcer. And you see action of him in a match or something. You're like, can't believe Gorilla was a wrestler. This seems so wild. And there's going to be generations of kids coming and maybe going that will look at Triple H the same way as we looked at a Gorilla Monsoon or even a Jesse Ventura. Maybe you don't think of him as a wrestler first. So wild to wrap your head around here, but we are counting down the suited Triple H figures, and I have to think we'll see more suited Triple H figures in the future. But let's kick off the countdown, of course, at number 5. All right, we begin the countdown at number 5, and this one, we go all the way back to the Basics Battle Pack, of course, from Mattel. We go to Series 32, as this Triple H was paired up with one Daniel Bryan at the time. We remember the Yes Movement for Triple H in a suit here. Now, this is basically an Elite Build-A-Figure body put in that basic 2-pack, which is always fun, always feels like a little extra value. Maybe that's just me. But to me, out of all the suited versions of Triple H, this was always his worst look, the swarmiest look, maybe. I don't know what you'd want to call it. But Triple H with short hair always looked weird. Obviously, in my brain, I close my eyes, I think of him with the long hair, the Lemmy stash. That's where I want to keep my Triple H look. Of course, obviously, I'm biased. I'm a Harley race guy. I'm a Lemmy guy. Always thought that was his coolest look. However, he's had a lot of looks over the years. And out of all of his looks, this is my least favorite, just the short hair. I much prefer his current day bald look. And of course, when TKO got involved with WWE and everything, Dana White, of course, always bald. They said, hey, you got to do the same thing, Triple H. You got to keep it bald, no hair going back and forth for you. But this Triple H is an interesting one. It's definitely a moment in time. We all remember how big the Yes Movement was. So it does get a little bit of love from that. And of course, Stephanie McMahon around at this time as well. But it is a moment in time. As much as I don't like the hairdo version on him or how he looked in person with this hairdo, it is like a moment in time of Triple H in a suit that we don't get very often and probably will never get again, to be honest. So it is special in its own way, and we all are in our own way. But this one from Series 32 comes in at number 5. Countdown rolls on to, of course, number 4. That's what comes after 5. We know how we count backwards here. But number 4 is a special one to a bygone era that we don't get much anymore. But of course, if you're a kid in the 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s, and occasionally nowadays, you remember the great days of the mail-away figures. Oh, you buy X amount of figures, you send in the proofs of purchase, you send in your receipt, whatever the rules may be, and you get a free figure. And nothing's really free, but it felt free, especially when you were a little kid. You're sending in your G.I. Joe flag points and Quick Kick shows up at your doorstep. It felt free to me, that's for sure. But we did get one of these from the basic Elite line. This is technically, I guess, an Elite Build-A-Figure. It is Triple H, once again, obviously in a suit with ponytail. How about that? We got that going on here. But this was a Toys R Us exclusive. An amazing mail-away figure, which we didn't, like I said, get a lot of mail-aways. We don't get a lot of mail-aways now. So maybe not the coolest Triple H ever. Obviously, number 4 in the suited variety here. But just feeling like you're getting a free figure made it always feel pretty special, and obviously a little bit more limited when you do things like that as well with the free figures. So very fun to get this one. When I see this, I think of Toys R Us, which is fun too, trying to keep those memories of our old friend Jeffrey alive. This one for Triple H going to come in at number 4. We've hit the halfway point of the countdown. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below. It's a tough list. You might have to research it, but that's not a bad thing. Constant learning, constant improvement. We say it all the time, and you'll get constant learning, constant improvement if you check out my podcast each and every Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, wherever podcasts are found. Videocast on YouTube. Check it out, of course. But now at number 3, we're finally getting off that Mattel train, and we're going back to the days of Jakks, of course. You know me, I'm a classics guy, but I'm also a ruthless aggression guy as well. I enjoyed that era of figures. Once again, a moment in time. A lot of people dismiss them. They look at them with 2025 eyes. But you go back in the day, they were something special, and I still say they're something special. And I love Mattel and all the articulation, the Ultimates, everything else, but I almost feel like the Ruthless Aggression era was the perfect amount of articulation. But that's a topic for another video. But for number 3, we're going to the first series of Treacherous Trios, of course, paired up with Ric Flair and Batista. Evolution of Mystery no more. We got Triple H in a suit. And this is a suited Triple H I feel like Mattel needs to get after right here. Clean shaven, long hair in a suit from Evolution era. There's a lot of looks around this time that I think we can do. And it'd obviously help if Ric Flair was signed to WWE, get more Evolution. You can imagine we would get some box sets, things like that from Target, Walmart, etc. But I always liked this Triple H version. This felt like Ric Flair Triple H. It felt like his version of the Horseman. Obviously, that's a correlation a lot of people do use. But always a special Triple H, and when I close my eyes, like I do many a times, and I go back to the Jakks Triple H figures, especially the suited ones, this is the one that stands out the best to me here. So a fun one that I would love to see maybe get reran from Mattel in the future is the Treacherous Trios Series 1 Triple H. Getting down to the end of the Triple H Top 5, and once again, we go to Mattel for the number 2 spot. This time, we go to the Basic Series 119 for, of course, suited Triple H. We'll call it NXT edition. How about that? And this is a powerful one for customizers. You want a guy in a plain black suit, Triple H is your man. You pop this head off, pop anybody else's head on here, and you can make anybody you want. Now, what I did at the time was I bought an extra one of these. And you remember that Legends Ted DiBiase from, I don't know, 2 years ago? What is time? Once again, he came with multiple heads, used one of those extra heads, popped it on here, and this was Trillionaire Ted in my WCW shelf for a long, long time. So there was a lot of different ways you could go with this one if you're a customizer. But besides that, this was our first bald-headed upper management senior leader Triple H figure in a lot of ways. So it is a little bit special in those circumstances. Now, there was a Triple H NXT figure very similar to this. I believe it was a brown suit, kind of like another one we got recently, that was canceled once upon a time. It was part of the next NXT exclusive line. So this one will have to do, but I actually prefer the black one here, especially to use with other characters, like I said, with a fig swap or head swap, more like it on that one there. So Triple H 119 coming in at number 2, but what can be number 1? Well, stay tuned. All right, time to finish off Triple H. What, Todd McFarlane? Oh, you finished him off too? Okay, you got your list together, is that what you mean? Sure, why not? But here we are at the number 1 Triple H suited figure of all time, and recency biased, maybe, but this one here is a banger. It's an all-timer. It's a must-have. However, it's stuck behind a 3-pack. I guess once again, like the Jakks one, it is the Awesome Truth, of course, version of Triple H in a suit from the night after WrestleMania a couple of years ago. You got to get the Miz and R-Truth to get this one here, and we just recently unboxed this on the channel. But when I close my eyes and I think of Triple H, once again, I think of him in a suit. This is what I think of, and this is a very modern-day Triple H in a suit. It is Build-A-Figure Elite style here, which is always nice as well. And it's cool to get a modern Triple H in our collection, as we see him on TV an awful lot, especially the PLEs. Hard to not say pay-per-views, but PLEs and stuff. So this is a fun figure. And then once again, like a lot of these suited figures, a lot of people are going to buy this one and put somebody else's head on here and get a different figure out of it. So a little extra fun out of this as well. I know a lot of people playing the long game don't want to pay the $70 for the set. I do understand that. We'll see if it goes to clearance. Haven't seen any of the NWO clearance in my neck of the woods yet. So I don't know what that means for the future of this set for clearance, but we'll see. And it looks like they shipped 3 in a box. So they might not have tons of these like they did some of the prior sets, I would have to imagine. So we'll see where it nets out here in the months, years to come, whatever it may be. But this is a fun one. This is a must-have if you want to get the other two, of course. But a fun Triple H here. And I have to think we'll get more Triple H's in suits in the future, be it the main event line, the Showdown 2-pack line, or maybe just a straight Build-A-Figure or an Elite figure in the future. We'll see where it goes. But Triple H, the most recent one from the Walmart exclusive 3-pack, hits the #1 spot. But that's my top 5. What's your top 5 look like? Once again, put it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. You get the drill by now. And check out my other YouTube channel while you're here. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. My podcast I told you about a little bit earlier there. Patreon and YouTube channel memberships for early access to all the videos and everything else in between. So for Triple H Top 5, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?